Okay, 12.3 box and whisker notes. This kind of goes right along with 12.2. So finding all the numbers that you found in 12.2 are going to help you here with 12.3. So the 5 numbers that we're going to need here, sometimes they're called the 5-number summary. And those 5 numbers are the minimum number when they're ordered from least to greatest, the lower quartile, the median, the upper quartile, and the maximum. So that's how I usually will abbreviate those. Your book calls them a lower or least value, upper extreme or greatest value, same differences, same thing as minimum and maximum. LQ being lower quartile, UQ upper quartile, and median is the one right in the middle. And I'll just remember that you have to have these in order when you're doing your box and whiskers, just like you did yesterday. So step 1, we find the least number and the greatest number out of the set of data. These are the extreme values. You're going to draw a number line that covers the range of data. This will make more sense as we actually are doing one, but we'll have it in words too. We find the median to the extremes and the upper and lower quartiles. So we have 5 numbers that we have to find. We mark these 5 points above the number line. We draw a box marking vertical lines through the points above the median, the lower quartile, and the upper quartile, and we draw whiskers extending from each quartile to the extreme data points. Okay, so here's how this works. We have a set of data and we put it in order: 3, 5, 5, 9, 11, 11, 12, 16, 17, 22, 25, 28, 31, and 33. Okay, make sure you have all those numbers down. Pause if you have to get them down. Make sure you have them all in order. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 data pieces. And when you have an even number, you know when you find your median, you're going to have 2 middles. So we start counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 12 and 16 is my middle, and halfway between 12 and 16 is 14, so that's my median. When you start counting to find the lower quartile, you have to start directly to the left, and for the upper quartile directly to the right. So you don't count what's circled. So since 12 and 16 are both middles, the median is actually 14. That means 12 and 16 aren't circled. So I start on 12, I start on 3. 1, 2, 3. This one only has 1 middle lower quartile. This is my minimum. I like to circle my numbers so it's easier when I draw my number line. I start directly to the right to count the middle of the upper half. 1, 2, 3. So 25 is my upper quartile, and 33 would be my maximum value. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 values. Now I go from 3 to 33, and you have to make a number line. I shouldn't have drawn that down so far. And my number line has to include the 3 and the 33. So I'm going to start at 0 because 3 will be in there, or 3 is close to 0. And then I have to decide, what do I count by? If I count by ones, I've got a number line that's super big that goes up to 33. I don't want that. So then the next one would be 2s. That's still a lot. If I go to 5s, that's pretty good. I always say maybe around 10. 8, maybe 8 to 12 little dash lines if you're trying to figure out what's appropriate for counting by. So I'm going to go with 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and you got to go a little past the highest number, so 35. You're going to mark a point above each of these circled numbers. Now, it's not going to be exact science, but you have to get kind of close. So there's 1. It's not on the number line, it's above. 9 would be here. I shouldn't have written that far down. Let's see, 14 would be just on this side of the 15. 25 is an easy one to find because it's directly above it, and 33 would be a little closer to the 35. It says to draw lines through the points here and make a box, okay? Normally that wouldn't be there. And then whiskers from the box to the high and the max and the minimum, okay? Anytime you're rewriting with dollar signs, don't write the dollar signs. That'll just be a mess when you have to write them all. So I will start over here really far because there's a lot of numbers. 5, 11, 11, 12, 13, 16, 19, 21, 29, 31, 37, 45, 50, 61, 77, and 78. Okay, so then we start counting in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm halfway between 21 and 29. So if you don't know the halfway point of those, then you're going to find the average of them, which means you have to do 21 plus 29, and then you have to divide that by 2 because there's 2 numbers. So halfway between those two would be 25. If you can't do it in your head, use your calculator. So that's my median right there. So that means the lower quartile starts directly to the left of the circle number. Count 1, 2, 3. There's 2 middles here, so 12.5 would be my lower quartile. There's my minimum at 5. Start counting directly to the right of the circle number. 1, 2, 3. Here's halfway between those two, so 47.5, because I would go 45 plus 50 equals 95 divided by 2, 47.5, and then there's my minimum. So now I have to decide what to count by. I have to go from 5 all the way to 78, and I think that 5s would be really too small. So I'm going to count by 10s because that's going to get me at least 8. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, should go to 80, because you want to make sure you fit the 78 in. So the 5 would go halfway between the 0 and the 10. 12.5 would be a lot closer to 10. 25 would be halfway between 20 and 30. 47.5 would be closer to 50, and 78 would be closer to 80. All right, so I make my lines through here, draw my whiskers. Okay, so that's the only new part, is making the actual box and whisker. So when you're doing 12-2, I would just do a few of them. The answers are on there. It's really hard to do them on the stem and leaf plot. I told you can rewrite the numbers if you want so they look like this. I would just do a couple on here. I wouldn't worry about doing a bunch of them, just so you've been exposed to them. Okay.